kind of sinking.
Mike DG sharing his sentiments here, and you know it's been a struggle for him, but the outlook remains bright for the Heat Waves as we check out the quarter scoring. 16-13, 15-13, Davao pretty much outscored Pangasinan in the first two quarters, but Pangasinan coming back with a 23-19 third period. And here to begin the fourth, some commotion. What's the call here? So possession ng Davao.
Ooh. I think they were trying to argue that there might have been an offensive foul on Justin Alano.
And Coach Gerson. No, actually, offensive foul. So it's Coach Clive who will use the challenge. Will return for the result.
Challenge made by Davao Occidental is unsuccessful. Offensive foul.
So the call stands on that offensive foul whistled against Justin Alano. That's gonna be his fourth foul, unfortunately.
Yeah, clearly a push off on Harvey Pagsanhan as he tried to get in between Comia and Mike De Gregorio there. Pity, because that could have extended Davao's lead to 3 points. And also could have prevented Alano from getting his fourth foul.
Pangasinan with a 5 of Ian Melencio, Harvey Pagsanhan, Mike De Gregorio, Jory Napoles, and Lervin Flores. Long inside. Floats one up, no good. Napoles the rebound. De Gregorio. Hinatid papunta kay Harvey Pagsanhan. Mike DG. Rejecting that ball screen by Flores. Melencio, short stab is good.
Could always rely on him to score when you're in the half court. Ian Melencio, you put him in those kinds of spots, that's money for him.
Balik ang lamang sa Pangasinan, 51-50. Tagala, Jeff Comia, Gian Abrigo, Jeric Cinco, and Alan Beltran for Davao. Cinco with a pull-up.
They're showing us the talent that he has, knocking it down from mid-range. Wasn't able to score in their last game, although he did play 10 minutes.
Sundot sa likod. Di Gregorio resets their offense. 8 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Melencio. Jeff Comia right in his grill, but foul will be called on Jeff Comia.
Melencio, he had to improvise there. But the thing with Ian Melencio is he's just so good at it.
Jeff Comia facing off against his former team, Pangasinan. As Ian Melencio will go to the line. Oh, even Ian Melencio, having his woes from the line, has missed 2 free throws so far. But currently has 13 points. Kita may free throw shooting. 7 out of 19 by the Heat Waves. But we're all tied up, 52 apiece, as we would like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the Mpbl.
And that's what I've been talking about. See, they do get a lot of attempts from the free throw line because they do get fouled a lot just by the nature of their play. Minsan kasi talagang nako-caught off guard yung depensa ng kalaban pag sila ang nakakatapat because they have lots of sets and the speed that they have as well in almost every possession enables them to draw these fouls. At that time, it was a clean shot. Melencio able to get into the gaps and float it up and in.
16 points now for Chester Ian Melencio. 54-52, Abrigo's floater won't drop. Gong Flores bounce pass. Melencio stops, fades away. It's good.
Mid-range, short range. That is definitely the domain of Ian Melencio.
Has scored the last 5 points for the Heat Waves. Man, Ian Melencio can really score the basketball. Despite his frame, his height.
Cavite legend yan.
Oo naman. Kung gusto ko sa kanya, he doesn't really force those outside shots. Talagang nilalapit niya eh. That, like you said, the domain that he has, that 12 to 15 footers. Now he gets the rebound. Ooh, that pass off target. Turnover against Pangasinan.
Iyon lang talaga. That's just not one of his strengths. Passing that basketball. But Coach Jerson has really tried to get him to become a facilitator more and more dito sa Pangasinan.
Abrigo drives. Nasupalpal ni Jory Napoles. Those two have gone at it in a 3x3 circuit, and Gian Abrigo not backing down, knocks down a 3.
Finally, that's his first field goal in 9 attempts, Ken.
Ooh, collision by the two lefties, Chauca and Flores. Val Chauca called for that foul.
See here, Abrigo, despite missing all of his attempts, and most of them actually have gone from spots wherein he usually makes those baskets. This time, it's a 3-point shot. Hindi natinag si Gian Abrigo.
Isa ang lamang ng Pangasinan. Vic Manuel laban kay Gian Abrigo. Melencio lalapit. Crossover. Oh, what a move. Ian Melencio putting on a clinic.
Most players will have a hard time when they get into the lane in that middle part of the court to still make a change of direction or a change of pace, but not Ian Melencio.
Manuel. Scoop play up, no. Mabulak grabbed the rebound, but ball got stolen away by Davao. The cut, Abrigo high off the glass, no good. Pagsanhan, forward pass, Manuel, reverse, yes!
I think he's just laughing at himself right now. Ito si Vic Manuel, as you see that 3, that's a big shot for Davao. Chauca making that, but Vic Manuel, those last 2 attempts that he had, yung una mintis and yung last na reverse pumasok, pero parehong mababa yung naging lipad niya eh.
2-point lead though. Pangasinan trying to protect this advantage that they currently have. Manuel face-up jumper, took forever before it finally dropped for Vic Manuel.
Boy, I haven't seen a shot fall down like that in a while.
Back-to-back baskets though by the muscle man. 62-58. Abrigo short. Bola babalik sa Heat Waves. Just past the halfway point of the 4th.
He had to adjust there. But this time, hand in the face, no problem. Vic Manuel, back-to-back hits para sa Pangasinan.
Manuel and Melencio have combined forces here in the 4th quarter. The muscle man with a 3-point play opportunity.
Coach Jerson has talked about it. We've talked about it, how he has to be a better facilitator for his teammates. But when push comes to shove, in the important moments of the game, when you need those kinds of baskets, you go to Vic Manuel because he is definitely the man for that job.
This free throw to push the lead to 7. 65-58. Davao Occidental. Can they mount one last rally here? Underman but not unbowed. Alano gets it back to Tricky. Perumingan. Oh, great pass. And a great cut as well by Sam Peralta. Able to draw the foul on Mike De Gregorio. Sam Peralta closing in on a double-double.
He has definitely affected the game in a positive manner. Dito para sa Davao Occidental, ito si Sam Peralta. Was absent in their game against Muntinlupa. Would have made an impact in that one. But here, from the get-go, he started this game, and until now, Peralta has helped Davao try and keep in step with this Pangasinan squad.
1 out of 2. 65-59. 6-point lead for Pangasinan. De Gregorio, despite his struggles, remains on the floor for Coach Gerson. Manuel loves that spot on the floor. Laban kay Justin Alano. Face-up jumper off the glass. Wala. Tapi ka ng bola. Mabulak tried to go for it. But Ian Melencio there for the stick back.
The story of the game in the first half. Pangasinan had more offensive rebounds. Just a couple of them. But it was Davao who had the more second chance points. But here in the second half, it's a different story. Pangasinan has been able to take advantage of those additional possessions to turn them into baskets, just like this one. Melencio getting that loose ball, active hands by Davao, but the breaks of that possession not favoring them.
Now it's Melencio and Manuel providing the scoring punch for Pangasinan, but how about those 17 rebounds by Mike Mabulak?
He has certainly given Pangasinan those chances to...
Kaya nun, Javi.
Yeah.
Tapik-tapik lang eh.
Gaya na sinabi ko kanina, you know, he's not gonna try and out-jump you. He's not always been a high jumper. He's not always been very athletic. Pero yung lakas ng katawan tsaka yung smarts, you know, the way that he gets his position, boxes out, and those hands have really worked miraculous things para sa kanyang kupunan.
18 rebounds now for Mabulak. Finds Vic Manuel, but missing a gimme. In transition, Davao, Comia. Bumuelo for the spin move. Val Chauca behind the pack. Oh, turnover against the Tigers.
But I think Vic Manuel was thinking twice when he got that basketball, threading that middle. See here, alam niya na makukulangan ng konting talon eh. But most of the time, that would have been a slam, especially maybe 3-5 years ago. Opted for the finger roll, medyo napasobra lang yung Pectus.
Has he had a slam dunk already in the Mpbl?
Wala pa yata.
Wala pa, no? But certainly not the lack of scoring for Vic. Mike Mabulak sealing off Sam Peralta before the shot foul called on the big man of Davao. Already 4 fouls too against Sam Peralta, with Justin Alano also with 4. Mabulak at the line. Remember, against Jensan, he was 0 of 5.
But wow, 17 rebounds now. 9 points para kay Michael Mabulak.
Meanwhile, let's check in with Mika.
Michael Mabulak and Shaq Taganas have won numerous championships with Coach Gerson. No? They have also had some challenges together. Their first season of Pangasinan not entering the playoffs. So they had to get more players to help out. And unfortunately, the minutes of Shaq Taganas suffered. But we know what Shaq can still do. And look at the performance of the Komodo Dragon despite big names in the front line. Why? Well, their kids are now playing already. Actually, teammates sila no? Under the tutelage of Harold Nang in HBN basketball. Pareho daw shooters. Si Kael Mabulak and Zach Taganas. Kaya naman mas ganado ang daddies, hindi na siguro sa shooting, kung hindi, tuluyan magpakondisyon na lang sa kanilang mga katawan. Ken and Javi.
Sana lang yung coach nila hindi tinuturuan ng kalokohan yung mga anak ng dalawa. Vic Manuel with a point there. 10-point lead for Pangasinan, but you know, coming full circle. And si Kael kasi alam ko ibang-ibang yung laro niya kay Mike eh. As we see Val Chauca score.
I think si Kael is more of a perimeter player and
Yes.
more of a scorer than his father.
Last 2 minutes of the game.
You know, that has been the case for a lot of players with kids who are already starting to play basketball. Kumbaga, gusto nila patunayan sa mga anak nila na isa pa silang magaling na basketball player. That's why a lot of the players right now, that has been the case. Gabi Espinas, Robbie
Yeah.
Celis, I'm sure a lot more.
And meron din ako naalalang kwento ni Mika. I think we were in Batangas City there. How I think meron ng doubts kay Mike on whether he could perform still.
Yun na nga. Oh, tama. I remember that
Diba?
story.
Tapos nasabihan siya ni Kael. And that really motivated him here. And nga, silang tatlo, no? And they're doing a fantastic job for sure. Wag nga lang silang tumulad sa head coach sila ngayon.
Yung head coach kasi nila, minsan,
Oh.
kung ano-ano nasa isip eh.
Of course, kaibigan natin yan, si Boss Harold.
Siyempre naman.
Oo.
So is Coach Harold a better coach than a better player? In your opinion, Ken?
It remains to be seen. It's hard to judge. I will keep my lips sealed for the moment. But how about those humongous numbers by Mike Mabulak? 12 points, 17 rebounds. Hindi pa kasama dyan sa stat sheet yung mga times na tinapik-tapik niya yung bola and it eventually ended up to his teammates.
Yeah, you know what? If those actually counted, he might actually have up to 35 rebounds. That's how much he's affected this game.
Vic Manuel grabs the board. And Pangasinan, after not leading in the first half, had a huge third quarter. The Davao Occidental Tigers came back and even took the lead heading into the fourth. But the heat waves, we had this guy, Ian Melencio, Michael Mabulak, and Vic Manuel have weathered the storm and looks like they're gonna pull through here in the fourth.
Once again, that particular possession, who had the tap on the basketball, Mike Mabulak made it happen para kay King Gortiza for him to get that offensive rebound off the glass.
This guy really started it in the first half. He kept Pangasinan within striking distance. Yung shot making ni King Gortiza when Vic Manuel struggled and Jory Napoles, Mike Dirigorio again just having their troubles on offense, but the other guys have picked up the slack. And this is gonna be a huge win for Pangasinan because they have a tough schedule in June, and that could be a springboard if they wanna really make a dent here in the North Division. And medyo precarious kasi have yung position rin nila in the team standings eh. But yung benefit din naman is I think they're 6-4 right now, di ba?
Correct. And if they get this victory, they can improve their position. They're currently at number 7 right now. Again, that's a position that get them an automatic playoff spot.
Yeah.
But of course, you want to avoid those kinds of complications because for sure at the end of the year, there will be a lot of teams that will have almost the same record as you because the North Division is just so tight.
Yeah. Chalca with a 3, but still an 8-point lead. The reason I mentioned the record is mas onti yung laro nila compared to sa mga top teams This is gonna be their 7th victory in 11 games. Pangasinan already has 13 games. Of course, Nueva Ecija is up there, 12-0 record. Abra, they have a tough game coming up against Quezon. So Pangasinan has a chance here to put in some string of victories before that highly touted showdown against Abra. But here, taking care of business against a very resilient, very tough, undermanned Davao Occidental Tiger squad. And this guy was simply phenomenal, especially in the fourth quarter. Best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the Mpbl. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Oh, what a game by Ian Melencio. First half only had 7 points, able to score 15, teaming up with Vic Manuel. Both of these guys, they combined for 28 points in that telling second half run of the Pangasinan Heat Waves, tearing it apart yung depensa ng Davao Occidental Tigers and making sure that Pangasinan would end up with a back-to-back victory.
Our final score, 68 for the Davao Occidental Tigers, 76 for the Pangasinan Heat Waves. Ian Melencio came into this game only averaging 5.8 points, coming up with 22. Let's go, Tumika.
Maraming salamat, congratulations Ian. Unang-una may utang kang kape sa akin, Sinabi ko sa'yo kanina na baka ikaw ang mag-best player. Pero Ian, alam mo, talagang makikita pa rin namin yung ability mo mag-take over, kahit napakadaming talented players dito sa Pangasinan. Sa fourth quarter, 11 points ka out of your 22 na career high mo ngayon. Kumusta ka?
Siguro kasi kulang yung team namin, wala si Esed. So step up lang sa binibigay na tiwala ng mga coaches sa akin. Sinusuklihan ko lang. Tsaka go hard kami sa practice para pagdating sa game, madala namin.
Pag-usapan mo yung team sa dami ng challenges nyo, sa naging mga talo, ganyan. Alam ko, ang schedule nyo ngayong June, medyo matindi. Meron kayo malalakas na kalaban. Kumusta kayo ang Pangasinan Heat Waves?
Sa practice, laging sinasabi ng coaches na pagbutihan lang namin, tapos yung mga susunod na game, maging ready kami para pagdating namin sa malalakas na kalaban, makasabay kami, sana manalo, yun.